What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. Manchester United are back in action again in the Premier League. Matchday 11 up against Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 12:30 p.m. kickoff tomorrow and manager is Thomas Frank. So in terms of head-to-head last season in the Premier League, unfortunately Manchester United lost both games. At home, Man United lost 3-0 in September 2024, and then away from home Manchester United lost 1-0 in February 2025. And then also last season in the EFL Cup we lost 4-3 away from home in December 2024, and also we did lose unfortunately the Europa League final 1-0 at the San Mamés, and it's pretty unforgivable to give Spurs their first trophy in 17 years. So in terms of last season as well, under Ange Postecoglou, Spurs finished 17th in the Premier League. So they finished with 11 wins, 5 draws, 22 losses. They scored 64 goals, conceded 65, and finished with a goal difference of -1 with 38 points altogether. So it was a poor season in terms of the usual Tottenham Hotspur standards by finishing 17th. But yeah, in terms of some insights for the match, Tottenham completed the Premier League double over Manchester United last season. They last won 3 consecutive league games against the Red Devils in 1959-1960. Manchester United are winless in their last 7 meetings with Tottenham Hotspur in all competitions, drawing 2 and losing 5, losing each of the last 4 like I mentioned. The last team to win 5 in a row against the Red Devils were Liverpool between the year 2000 and 2002. No side has lost more Premier League home matches in 2025 than Tottenham Hotspur with 9. Only in 1994 and 2003, 10 in each, have Spurs reached double figures for home defeats in a year in their league history. So number 4, Man United are unbeaten in their last 4 Premier League games, winning 3 and drawing 1. Their joint best run under Ruben Amorim, while United last had a longer run without losing in February 2024, which was 5 games, which was also the last time they netted 2 or more goals in 5 in a row. And across spells with Brentford and Spurs, Thomas Frank has suffered 9 defeats in his last 16 home Premier League matches, winning 3 and drawing 4. Before this run, his Brentford side had won 7 of their previous 8 home games, with drawing 1 as well. So only Liverpool with the 156 have had more shots in the Premier League this season than Manchester United, who have had 153. And no side has had more shots on target than they have with 54. 66.7% of their shots have come from inside of the box this season, 102 out of 153. The highest ratio since the 2012-13 season was 66.8%, their last title winning season. So some good stats for Man United in terms of getting shots inside the box. But of course, we want to be translating that into goals, and obviously we need to stop leaking goals as well, because we've only kept 1 clean sheet all season. But in terms of some recent form for Tottenham Hotspur, they are coming away with a really good 4-0 victory over Copenhagen in the Champions League. Before that, though, in the league, they did lose to Chelsea at home. They did also lose to Newcastle away from home in the EFL Cup 4th round. They did manage to beat Tottenham in a 3-0 away win at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, Everton's new ground. And they did draw to Monaco in the Champions League. They did lose to Villa as well at home. So there's some recent results for you. Also, they lost to Leeds as well away from home. So a little bit of a mixed form for Tottenham. Obviously, their most recent Premier League fixture was against Chelsea, where they lost 1-0. In terms of the league table, Tottenham currently sit in 6th position and United are in 8th, both tied on points with 17, but Tottenham are above United due to their superior goal difference. Tottenham also have the best away record in the league, winning 4 and drawing 1. However, at home they've lost 3 out of 5, winning only 1 and drawing the other. So in terms of Tottenham Hotspur's team news, they've got quite a lot of injuries, to be honest with you. They've got Ben Davies, Radu Dragusin, Dejan Kulusevski, James Maddison, and Dominic Solanke are all out. Mohamed Kudus is also doubtful for the game, so I'm not sure if he will make it, but he is in my starting 11 for Tottenham Hotspur. So Vicario is in net, of course. Porro, Romero, Van der Ven and Spence making up the back 4. Paulinho and Bentancur making up the 2 central defensive midfielders. Then a front 3 of Kudus, Simons and Odegaard in behind Kolo Muani. So how do How do Tottenham like to play? First of all, in possession, in the first phase of possession, Tottenham typically set up in a 4-2-3-1 formation, but this often morphs into a 4-2-2 shape as the striker drops deeper alongside the number 10. This movement creates a box midfield with no fixed striker, while both wingers stay high and wide to stretch the opposition's defensive line and pin their fullbacks. The double pivot provides stability in front of the centre-backs, helping Tottenham control the early build-up and play out calmly under pressure. By dropping many players close to the ball, Frank's side naturally attracts several opposition players forward. And in today's game, where teams defend with man-oriented pressing systems, this movement pulls defenders out of position and opens up large spaces in behind for Tottenham's wingers to attack. So also, once the press is engaged, Tottenham look to find a forward-facing midfielder or a fullback who can quickly exploit these spaces with a vertical pass. This often leads to fast, direct attacking transitions from structured build-up situations, creating 3v3 or 4v4 situations in open space, almost like a controlled counter-attack launched from an organized possession. So in terms of the high build-up phase, as Tottenham progress through the middle third, the shape typically evolves into a fluid 4-3-3. The midfielders' trio movements are key. One of the number 8s often drops alongside the holding midfielder to support circulation, while the other pushes higher between the lines. Against teams pressing with two forwards, the number 6 frequently drops between the centre-backs, giving Tottenham a temporary back three to facilitate ball possession and bypass the first line of pressure. Also, a key feature of Frank's offensive structure is the consistent use of a double width. Both the fullbacks and wingers occupy wide corridors simultaneously, even when the ball is on the opposite side. This spacing stretches the opponent's defensive block horizontally and creates several tactical advantages. Firstly, maintaining two players wide allows Tottenham to create overloads after switching play. When the ball is circulated from one side to the other, the fullback and winger can immediately form a 2v1 or a 3v2 situation against the opposition fullback, especially if the near side midfielder joins the combination. Frank's long-standing emphasis on set-piece efficiency continues at Tottenham. His side approaches dead ball situations with the same level of planning as open play patterns. So from corners, Spurs often use routine, starting with most plays at the back post, sprinting towards the front zone as the delivery comes in. This movement forces defenders to track runners coming from behind while also monitoring the ball, creating confusion and mismatched timings. The deliveries are typically in-swinging, with attackers screening key defenders and the goalkeeper to free aerial targets. So in terms of defending without possession, Frank's Tottenham side defends proactively, using an aggressive high-pressing system to disrupt the opponent's build-up and force mistakes near their goal. Their approach is mainly man-to-man, with each player responsible for directly marking an opponent. However, a man-to-man press comes with several inherent risks. If communication breaks down, or even a single player loses his duel, the opposition can bypass the press entirely, progressing through large open spaces and immediately putting Tottenham's backline under pressure. Since every player is responsible for an individual opponent rather than a zonal area, one mistake can unbalance the entire structure. When Tottenham is forced deeper, their defensive behaviour remains man-oriented, though adapted to a more compact structure. Frank has used several shapes, primarily a 4-4-2, a 4-2-3-1, a 4-1-4-1, depending on the opponent's positioning and attacking patterns. So Thomas Frank's Tottenham defends with remarkable work ethic and collective discipline. The players show a understanding of covering for one another. If one steps out to press the ball carrier, a teammate immediately drops back to fill the gap. So in terms of Tottenham star man, I'm going to have to say it's Mohamed Kudus. Kudus is an explosive, technically gifted attacker who combines dribbling, finishing and creativity with strength and tactical versatility. So he thrives in he's got elite 1v1 ability. So Kudus is one of the Premier League's best at beating defenders off the dribble. Powerful and precise shot, strikes cleanly with either foot, especially from the edge of the box. multi-positional as well, can play as a right winger, attacking midfielder or false nine, and understands space as well. Good at finding pockets between the lines or drifting wide to isolate defenders. So that's Tottenham for you. In terms of Manchester United, let's speak about United a little bit. We are coming away with a 2-2 draw against Nottingham Forest. So we did take the lead in the 34th minute when Casemiro headed in from a corner. And but though early on in the second half, Forest hit back with 2 quick goals, one by Morgan Gibbs-White and the other by Nicolas Savona, to turn the game towards Forest 2-1. United then rescued a point in the 81st minute when Amad Diallo struck a brilliant volley from the edge of the box. And United almost snatched all 3 points, but via Amad Diallo again, if it wasn't for a late block off the line by Morello, I think it was. So in terms of what worked for United that game, it was United's ability to respond late, obviously showing character when trailing, also good set-piece execution for Casemiro's goal. But what was concerning was the second half was shaky. Giving up 2 quick goals is a major concern. Also, away matches still show signs of inconsistency despite the progress. So, away from home, our form hasn't been great. I think we've only won 1 game away from home all season. That was against Liverpool. But we'll take a look at the away league table in just a moment after I give my United lineup. But in terms of the Forest game, I think it was a big opportunity missed to move in the second place. 2 points dropped. I was really disappointed, and we had a really good chance to make it 4 wins in a row against Nottingham Forest side, who were struggling to score goals. We gave them 2 easy goals at the start of the second half, and that was that. We almost failed to get back into the game if it wasn't for Ahmad's late strike, which rescued a point for us. In terms of Man United's team news, of course, Martinez is still out with a long-term injury. So my Man United starting 11 is this. This is my preferred 11, not my predicted. So of course, Lemons keeps his space in net. Yoro, De Ligt, Shaw making up the back 3. Ahmad, Casemiro, Fernandes and Dogu making up the 4 in midfield. And then Mbumo, Cunha and Sesko up front. So I'm expecting Ruben Amorim to field Dalot at left wing back again. I don't know why he's really obsessed with playing Dalot there. He hasn't been impressive in my opinion. I think Dalot's been poor this season. I think going forward he has been poor. I think defensively as well, he's not looked great either. So I would much prefer Dogu there. But it's a toss-up between Dalot and Dogu. Personally, I would go out and get another left wing back because I don't think Dalot or Dogu are up to it. But that's my starting 11. In terms of United star man, I'm going to have to say it's a Bryan Mbeumo. He has been our most dangerous attacker all season. So he's our star man for us. In terms of how do you beat Spurs, number 1, exploit the wings and break Spurs' flank. So Tottenham under Thomas Frank are deploying wide attacking overloads and using flank space to stretch teams. United should push their fullbacks and wide midfielders high and move the ball quickly in wide areas to force Spurs' wing-backs out of position, then exploit the half spaces behind them. Number 2, fast transitions and vertical passes into the channels. Spurs often drop into a mid to low block when defending. United must bypass this by shifting quickly from defence to attack rather than endless build-up. A vertical tempo change, especially targeting spaces between Spurs' fullbacks and centre-back or midfield line, will be key. Number 3, overload central midfield and drag their pivot out of shape. Tottenham's midfield system is flexible and they like to force your number 10 or attacking midfielder into narrow zones. United should use their offensive midfielder in a free roaming role, pulling Spurs' midfielders around and creating gaps. Number 4, stay compact defensively, minimize set-piece threats. Spurs are improving their set-piece effectiveness this season and also like to exploit wide areas. United must stay organised at the back, arrive early to claim aerials and avoid being stretched by the wide overloads. Also, when United win the ball, they must guard against immediate counter transitions. Number 5, set-piece execution and clinical finishing. Against a disciplined defensive side like Tottenham, ordinary chances may be at premium. United must make the most of set pieces, crosses and high quality chances when they get them. Converting those opportunities will likely decide the outcome given the expected tight tactical battle. So that's how you beat Tottenham. Let's take a quick look at the league table. Let's pull that up for you right now. So this is the league table. Man United currently sitting 8th. Tottenham are in 6th. You've got 3 teams on 17 points, and three teams on 18 points. So because we do play first tomorrow, it's a 12:30 p.m. kickoff tomorrow. If we do win, we would move to 20 points, so we'd be on second place. But with that draw away at Nottingham Forest, if we had won that game, we would be on 19 points, so we would possibly be in third position if we hadn't dropped points against Nottingham Forest. So that, again, for me, that was a really, really disappointing draw, and hopefully we can get over that and come away with all 3 points against Tottenham. But if Tottenham do win, Tottenham would also move to 20 points, so they would move to second place as well, because obviously we have got the early kickoff. So in terms of our home form, have a look at the home form. United have decent home form this season. We've only lost one league match, which was on the opening day of the season against Arsenal. So our home form has been great, but our away form hasn't been good whatsoever. We've only won one in 5, which was a win against Liverpool. We've drawn 2 and lost 2. So our away form hasn't been great. Tottenham's away form, on the other hand, has been really, really good. So hopefully we can get all 3 points against Tottenham. I'm going to be a little bit skeptical. I'm not going to predict a win, because I predicted a win against Nottingham Forest and we drew. So this time I'm going to be predicting a Tottenham win. Hopefully I am wrong, of course. But yeah, my score prediction for the game is going to be 2-1 Tottenham. I think Colomwani is going to score 1, and then I think Odobert is going to get the other one. So Odobert and Colomwani going to score for Tottenham, and then for my United, I think Mbeumo is going to score to make it 2-1. Hopefully I'm wrong, of course, and Man United come away with all 3 points, but I don't want to predict a win, because I predicted a win against Forest and we drew, and I feel like if I predict losses, I can use a little bit of reverse psychology, and hopefully Man United can come away with the win, because every time I predict a win, we lose or draw, and every time I predict a loss, we seem to win. But yeah, hopefully we come away with all 3 points. If you enjoyed this preview, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you after the match.